Analyzing software. So, as the name suggests, we're going to be looking at software that can be used for analyzing data and really tools that can exist within software that help users analyze data that has been stored on a system. So, remember, this is how we help data turn into information by becoming more meaningful to a user. So, firstly, we'll look at searching and selecting tools. Okay, so searching allows a user to enter in keywords related to a file or for websites. Okay, and you can see in the picture there, we're trying to emulate Google a bit. Okay, I type in keywords and it will do a search by accessing the search engine's databases, and based on those keywords return websites, okay, that will hopefully link me to the information that I'm looking for. Okay, but also we can do searches within our own databases, within spreadsheets, within even word process files for certain words, okay, to help us find the information we are looking for. Okay, so basically it returns results based on data or metadata contained within a file. And metadata is data about data. So in the example of websites, once again, the website might be called Information Processing Technology website. But if I type in databases, I might have database stored as a meta keyword in my actual website. And it will find my website that way, although it's not in the title, it finds it through its metadata. Users can select options then from the search results based on what my search was for. Okay, I'm sure you're all very familiar with searching. Okay, you might have found this resource or this video, okay, through doing a search through YouTube. So I think we know what searching is. Next is sorting. So sorting is used to place data in a specific order. This tool could be used to add further meaning to data by placing the data into an order, such as from highest to lowest values, making the data different easier to comprehend. Okay, so let's say your teacher's looking at all your marks in the class and they're trying to figure out who came top of the class. Well, they'll do a sort and they'll put you in order based on marks, and straight away you can see the top three students in the class. They'll all get awards at the end of the semester to say congratulations. Okay, so just by sorting data, okay, we can get information out of it, even though the data hasn't even changed. Okay, it's just been changed in its placement, but the actual digits on screen are exactly the same. Just by reordering it, the data has become more meaningful through that analysis. Next, we've got charts and graphs, and this refers to the fact that sometimes it's more meaningful when data is displayed graphically. Quite often, people's minds can comprehend information on a graph easier than a bunch of accurate numbers. So if I've got this spreadsheet table that's full of numbers and I show it to an audience of users who I'm trying to get to understand what I'm talking about, it'll make no sense to them. A lot of them will just see numbers. But charts and graphs can be used to summarize that information so it's easier for the user or a target audience to understand. Okay, them seeing a pie chart reflecting those numbers on screen, they can see, well, this sector of the pie chart is a bit much bigger than the other sectors. That must mean that thing is good or takes up the most part of our organization, something along those lines. But because it's drawn, it's easier for them to understand. Charts and graphs also help highlight trends in data based on their visual patterns. And as you can see down the bottom here, we've got a line chart talking about sales in different years. Okay, and we can see that they all peak in June just by all the lines being higher around the June, July mark. So we mean something happens in June, July that makes our sales higher for our car sales. All right, so once again, we can learn a lot by data being presented in a visual format, which will be more informative and easy to comprehend to our audience. Next, we've got modeling and simulation tools and what if scenarios. So let's say I have set up a spreadsheet and it does calculations that I've been wanting to do about my business. Now, for what if scenarios, I can then change some of the values in my spreadsheet. So it could be that I put a product on sale that I'm selling at my store. If I put it on sale, will that increase the amount of sales that I'm expecting to get based on previous year's sales? So that is a what if scenario. Will we change data, okay, to see if our results change in a favorable or non-favorable way to help us predict what to do in the future, okay, for modeling and simulation. Okay, so that can be done in spreadsheets and obviously higher end software tools, okay, such as decision support systems, okay, to help us predict courses of action that will hopefully lead to benefit through our information system for our organization. And then finally, we've got file comparison, okay, used to compare data contained within different files against each other. Based on the results of the comparisons, user may be able to replace, update, or update data between the two files. Okay, you might want to have two versions of a file that have similar data. Okay, but you might find if they're exactly the same, you might actually make one replace the other, so you've only got one master file on your system. But essentially, it has to check the data and metadata within the two files, okay, in order to find those similar data and information within each file when doing the comparison. So I hope this has helped you understand software and tools within software that can be used for analyzing data. A lot of this stuff you've most likely done before. I'm sure that you've created charts and graphs before, done a search, done a sort before, and maybe even some modeling and simulation too. Okay, it's stuff that I'm sure you've experienced before. And when you do these things, as in the nature of analysis, you're taking data and now you're reinterpreting it into a more meaningful manner through these analysis forms, which is essentially turning it into information for yourself. So I hope this clears that up for you.